This is using the alphabets in order to find the numbers that you have to add. So it might look hard, but when we know how to do it, it won't be that hard. So let's look at number 1. It says happy. And you are not really adding the alphabets, but we have to find the alphabets from the list over here, up here, and use the numbers that goes along the alphabets. So for H, it would be 8. A would be 1. P would be 16. And another P, 16. And then at last, 25. So we're adding all these numbers together. So let's see. 8 plus 9 is equal to 9. Now you have to do 9 plus 16. 9 plus 16. 6 plus 9 is equal to 15. So 5 under 6 and 9, and 1 above 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, so you get 25. So far you have done this one, and this one. Now you have to do 25 plus 16 for this one. 5 plus 6 is equal to 11, so we put under 5 and 6 another 1 above 2 and 1. You have to add 2 and 1 and the one that we added above here. So 1 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 4. So we get 41. And lastly, we have to do 41 plus 25. 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. 4 plus 2 is equal to 6, so we get 66 as our answer. Now, the problems below number 1 will be easier than this, and there will be less addition, so you should be able to do it without having a lot of challenge with these questions. So the next question, or next section, is about number line, and you're using the number line to do subtraction problems. So let's see, for number 2, you have 8 minus something is equal to 4. And 8 right now is represented as, represented with the smile over here. So we have the 8 over there, which is the number there where we start off with. And we have something. We subtract this much, this question mark, and then we get 4. And we end here. So we just have to count how far 8 is from 4. How much we have to go to get from 8 to 4. So we'll just count from 8 to 1, 2, 3, 4. We just subtracted 4, so we know that question mark is equal to 4. Now let's look at time. Write correct hour and minute on the clock for number 1. I'll do number 1 and another question from below, because number 1, you might need help on this. So hours would go inside, and minutes I'll write outside, like in the boxes. So starting with hours, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clocks. So these would just go around the circle clockwise in order 1 through 12, which is very simple. And the minute may be a bit harder. You go by 5s. Hour, you count by 1s. Minutes, you count by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 45, 50, 55, and 00. So another one to look at before you're doing the questions 2 to 5 is that hour is shorter and minute is long. Long needle. So let's look at number 2. Number 2 says 4:20. So hour is 4. And the minute is 2. So using the information that we did together for number 1, we're going to do number 2 together. So 4. 4 is inside. Inside is hours, and we find 4 inside and draw a short needle. And for 20, we find 20 from outside. All these numbers are for minutes. So we're going to find for 20. 20 is over here. So we're going to put the long needle over there as well. Let's look at the word problems now. We can do number 4 together. David has 3/4 and Nora has 2/4. There are 2 questions related to this statement. So the first question is, how many quarters do they have altogether? So we have to add the number of quarters they have. So David had 3/4 and Nora had 2/4. So we just have to do 3 plus 2. Let's say David had 1, 2, 3/4 and Nora's was added. When we count, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that they have 5/4 together. Let's look at B. How much more money does David have than Nora? 1/4 is 25 cents. So instead of doing how many quarters David have than Nora, we have to find for how much money David have more than Nora. So 1/4 is 25 cents. David has 3/4. So he has 25, 25, and 25. So we have to add all these to know how much money he has. He has 25 plus 25. 5 plus 5 is equal to 0 at 10. So we're going to put 0 below 5s and 1 on top of 2s. 2 plus 2 is 4, and we have to add the 1 over here. So 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, so we get 50. Now from these two are 50. We have to find all 3 of them. So we're going to do 50 plus 25. 5 plus 0 is equal to 5. 7 and 5 plus 2 is equal to 7, so we get 75. So we know that David has 75 cents. We have to look for how much Nora has. Nora has 2/4. We just found that 2 of these are 50, and Nora has 2 of the quarters. So we know that Nora has 50. Now we have to do 75 minus 50 to find how much more money David has than Nora. 5 minus 0 is equal to 5. 7 minus 5 is equal to 2. So we have 25 cents.